What's up, party people? This is Jude Snowboarder here from Facebook, Jude's Junk Comic Book Shop, and YouTube channel. I want to talk about the idea of dollar cost averaging. This is a regular term in the stock market, but a lot of people may not do this if they're investing in comic books. And I know some people think you can't invest in comic books, but let's say you like a cover a lot and you get it and you get one book and you're cool with that and you move on to what you might need. And then you see someone that has a whole bunch of Incredible Hulk 340 or a whole bunch of Spider-Man 1s, Platinums, or something like that. So one thing that I do is if I like a book, for one, and I don't mind having multiples, if the market is dropping like it is, I will buy the same book every few months as that number tanks. And you might think, well, we've already lost money on the first book. Yeah, but that price is dropping, and I know the bottom has got to come up sooner or later. So Infinity Inc. number 14, Todd McFarlane's first cover. I don't know, I paid like $124 a few months back. Yesterday I got it for $86. And if I can pick up another one for, $50 if it keeps dropping, I'll do that. And then what you do is you add up those costs, and then you can divide by 3, and that's what your average cost then will be different than the individual cost for each book. Now, what you may not be aware of is as you're selling books with this new tax world, PayPal Goods and Services reports your income. And so you have to actually write down the cost of the book and the sale of the book, and you got to record what the profit is, and you pay taxes on that profit. So if you have 3 of the same books, and one of them you bought at 90 and you're selling it for 100, and one of them you bought at 50 and you sell it for 100, you might want to, and if you have to, and you get to sell one, you might want to sell the one that had the $90 cost, because then you'll only have a $10 profit to pay tax on. Maybe it's toward the end of the year, like right now, December 2024. So you might pick the book now because, I have a high tax rate this year, so I don't, I made a lot of money this year, so I don't want to report a lot of income. So you sell the book with the higher cost. So that's just a side note. But this idea of dollar cost averaging is to spread the cost out over 3 books. I would love to have a bunch of 9.8 Incredible Hulks 340. And you buy one at $1,500 and it drops to $1,000, and you're like, bummer, I lost $500, but I don't want to sell it. Well, you could wait till it gets back to $1,500, and it may never get there. You could maybe send it in to get signed, and that would increase the value a lot, maybe more than that $500 you lost. I think I just sold a 9.8 signed by Todd McFarlane for $2,800. So, but if it drops to $1,000, you might think, I already got stuck with one, I don't want to buy another one. Well, this other one that's $1,000, this might be the bottom, so I might buy that one again. And if it goes down to $800, I might buy it again. Now, you could make the wrong choice, and you could keep pouring money into a book, and you could have 7 books. So you might want to make sure that it's one of those really hot books that is going to go up over time. An ASM 300, Incredible Hulk 340, Batman 423, or some of the keys with first appearances and that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with getting multiples. And if it's a cheaper book, but it went from 100 down to $50, oh, bummer. I lost 100, I lost half the book's value. Well, go buy one for $50, and now you've invested 75 into 2, or buy 2 for $50, and your total cost overall is lower. So that's just a strategy I use. And then when I go to sell one of them, I can either sell the one that has the bigger profit, I can sell the one that has the lower profit. I have to pay less taxes on that. But who doesn't want to have 3 Incredible Hulk 340s or 3 Swamp Thing number 37, right? These are great books. You might end up trading them away. That's when you lose a lot of money, maybe you trade it away and get a different book that you like even more, or maybe the book you're trading away is going down, but you're trading it for a new up-and-coming hot book, like, the first appearance of Galactus, and Silver Surfer is kind of hot because the expectation of the Fantastic Four movies by Marvel this time. And so maybe you want to trade away a book that's shrinking to get a book that's growing. Batman 227. I don't know if people know this, but it has never gone down over the boom over the last a few years. At least the signed books that I'm looking at, maybe the blue labels, but the signed books have just gone up, up, up. I hope that shows up in the camera accurately. It goes up, up, and up. So anyways, dollar cost averaging, you might want to get multiple books, especially if the book drops and you still love it. If the book drops and you don't like it and it'll have left a bad taste in your mouth because it reminds you of a movie that everybody hated, maybe that's not the kind of book to invest in. But you might have some of the books that you love that you're like, oh, wow, I'd love to have two. Like I have a Wolverine 1. I have 2 of them signed 6 times, by all the artists that were on it. And so I like that book. I have a ROM 1 signed by Frank Miller. I got 2 of them in a 9/8. So there might be certain books that you really like. I wouldn't be afraid to get 2 of them. If the price drops significantly low, what you could do is turn around and sell the first one you bought. You paid $1,500 for it. You sold it for $1,000. Now you get to take that $500 loss and reduce your taxable income. And so that might be a good way, and then go buy a book for $800. And then now you're not sitting on a book that just makes you feel bad because you're like, oh, I already lost $500. And as soon as I sell it, I'm going to realize that loss, because a lot of people say, oh, you never lose a book until you actually sell it. Well, you might as well take that loss now. If you have a bunch of income this year, you lose $500, it reduces your taxable income by $500. And what a lot of people don't know is, in comic book collectible world, if you're doing a Schedule C, and I know not everybody does, but I do a Schedule C for my comic book business, the capital gains rate is upwards of 28%. So it is pretty significant when you look at all the tax. You got self-employment tax and all these things if you do a Schedule C. And if you don't do a Schedule C, then there's some other trade-offs, pros and cons. Anyways, guys, dollar cost averaging on comics. Let me know if you do it. Let me know if you like the idea. Let me know if you think it's a stupid idea. Happy hunting, man.